So the first step is to take the faceplate off. You have to pull these down because they connect right here. And this can be the tricky thing because you can't see it. I literally use a snake light. I go in from behind, and then you just take the hook tool and you pull down just a little bit, and it pops right off without damage. But the tachometer is bad on this, and I have brand new servos. They showed up yesterday, so I'm going to fix this. I will give you a word of advice. Once you get this separated, which this pulls the needles and faceplate portion just pops right up. Just be very careful with this, especially on older clusters, because if you literally drop it or put it down too hard, the displays can get I don't even have an old one, but you can get like a snowflake effect in there because they're getting old. And realistically, the only ones you should be replacing this with are the Mini Tools one. They're from Italy, and they have super fast shipping, and you're going to pay about the same price, and you should replace all three. You got to clean up the board really well because these are originally this cheapo carbon thermal attachment, and if you do pop this off, take it off, they usually are just being held on with pressure. So to replace these, you should use the Mini Tools one. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but they have the best replacement displays, and they'll last forever. You just got to put the work in. You got to clean up the board really, really well, get all the carbon off, and then you solder them on. I have another video that I did recently of these. Okay, this is a 2001 996. I'm going to correct the mileage. I have to actually look to see what. But I read the file. That is a 2001, but it's a coupe AA. This car is a cabriolet, but I'll fix the VIN number. And then the mileage is that's in kilometers, so I will correct that. I'll calculate it and then correct it what he wants. I got to look on my phone. Here. Where the heck is it? Total distance. 122.59. 122.56. That's close enough. And my dogs are barking. Oh, goodness. Do drive links. We will most importantly do the tachometer. Okay. Nice. Good. We'll go back to here. We'll stop it. We'll stop it again. Goes back. We'll do your speedometer. You can only do the analog. And this is the one you got it with. That's as high as it ever goes to. 250 kilometers, which I believe is about 160 miles per hour. Let me do here, goes back. We will do coolant temp. Goes to 120 Celsius. And then we go stop. And we'll do your fuel level. It looks good. Voltage. That is correct. I think we got one more. We got oil pressure. And that's the behavior until I take the power away. And oil pressure is always like that because that's open circuit. And I don't think you can check oil pressure because it's not on, doesn't have it in the tester. So, yeah, that's how it is. So, you can also we'll check all your display segments. You can see a little bit in the corner there. You're starting to get crackling, but when you look directly on your other one, when you looked up on the mileage, it had crackling up there. But it's just what it is. That's why you should get the mini tool ones. But all right, all your segments look good. Let me turn that off. Got key buzzer. That's not banging. I don't know if your buzzer works. No buzzers. Don't know what that's all about, but well, all the needles look good, so that's it. So I can't do this because I don't have a camera set up properly, but I'm going to show you something. So I'm going to select key buzzer. So if I select key buzzer now, and it's going, but I got nothing, right? There's the buzzer right there. So I'm going to check. I'll show you with this. I would do a voltmeter. So I'm going to stop this because it will time out. Let me see, because I don't have a real good setup. All right, so actually, let me see some here. All right, well, you'll have to believe me or trust me. So watch the multimeter, and I'm going to put these two probes on the voltage connection, the power and ground of the speaker buzzer. All right, I've selected it. We're getting no activity, but when I put this on here, see, 2.5 volts, 2.5 volts, 2.5 volts. So the speaker's bad. I can do the, so if he left his lights on, same thing. no noise, but I put so I have to change it. All right. Here's his old board, which has an issue with the tachometer, and there's no schematics for this, but his buzzer does work. And if you look, this one looks a little bit weird, like it got water or something. This one doesn't look like that, so I'm going to change it. So to do this properly, I'm going to add solder first because it's probably lead free. And then I'm either going to use solder wick, or I have this really, I like this a lot. It's a solder sucker, but it's the engineer one, so it's made in Japan. Pretty good. I bought some of those solder guns before. I'd probably like to get another one, but I don't have one and I don't actually need one. So I won't be able to videotape this because I just don't have the equipment. Okay, so let's see. Is it going to focus? No. All right, so that is where the speaker goes. I was able to remove it successfully. I'm still in macro. All right, I gotta shut this off for a second. So I was able to remove it. I couldn't record it. This is the working speaker. And then this is the speaker that was not working. I first tried to remove it from here, and I could have, but then I realized I just went through on the board. And then this is the board that has the issue with the tack, and it's got some display issues, so he bought a new cluster. Unfortunately, everything worked out perfect. The tack now works, but his buzzers didn't work. So he wouldn't have had his light, leaving his lights on. There'd be no buzzer, no key. He left in the ignition buzzer, so he wanted it He wanted it fixed. So I'm changing it from his non-working board to the new board. And then, unfortunately, this is what I had to do. I had to tear apart the cluster again. And I don't even have to tear them apart like this when I fix them for mileage correction and VIN correction. I just use software and I power it up and I just do that. But this was more, so all right. So I just finished soldering it on. I changed this one and I put the one from this board, which was the board that had issues, even though he just bought a used one. I mean, there were only two choices. One was $1,100 and one was much, much cheaper, a third the price, maybe less. But the buzzer was not working and the seller didn't sell that, so I changed it. If we do this now, let's key buzzer he's got now. He's got light buzzer. Let's see, variable buzzer. I don't even know what that is. I don't think that matters. The belt buzzer. All right. Let's see his display segments. I'll turn off my microscope light. The glare is pretty bad, but we got all our segments. You could see some spider webs starting, but the surround will cover that. It'll spread and eventually it'll have to be replaced. Let me just check, most importantly, this is what we need. Tachometer. That's what was bad, which is awesome. Awesome. That. I'll check the speedometer. Speedo works. Coolant temp. Coolant temp works. Fuel level. Fuel level works. There's no oil pressure in the tester. I don't know, they just forgot to put it in. I could put resistance on it, but right now open circuit does give you full voltage. The voltmeter works, and that's it. We're good. We'll put it back together. All right, it's completely back together. Display looks good because any of the spider webs are hiding by the bezel. And then we'll go over here. Looks like 996. My area is a disaster. Okay. Go instrument cluster. Sorry, my fingers are... I'll get a good camera one day. See, you can see if you look on the corner, you can see some spider webbing there. But you really gotta look, because if you're driving, you won't see it. So drive links. Yes. Most importantly, tachometer. Okay. Then we will do speedometer, which can only do the analog. And it maxes. Oh man, look at me. The glare is terrible. I got a good light up there though. All right. Analog speedometer is good. We'll go coolant temp. Good. Go fuel level. And then voltmeter. Oh, no, that was display segments. Hang on. Voltmeter. All right. And then all display segments, we'll check. Oh, no, it's still voltmeter. Stop it. Oh. Display segments. So they all are good, but I'm telling you, eventually these are going to have to be replaced. Now, this is important because we never had this, and then we got key buzzer, light buzzer. We leave the lights on. And then speed buzzer. I don't even know what that is. Maybe I think that might be. That's not even in the cluster. It might be a relay, and then the belt buzzer. Let's see. Yeah. So that's the buzzer we did not have, and that was. This was bad. So all right, man. Everything looks good. Let me turn off this. Let my fan go off. Okay. And then we got, oops. Okay, I put the piece of tape back on because the early cars actually had that as a filler. I took that off your old one. This had a lot of blue paint on it, if you remember, from the pictures where you bought it. Took most of it off. You could still see a little if you want. I just used like 98% alcohol, electronics alcohol, but you could probably just use regular alcohol. But it's ready to go in the car. The VIN number is correct and the mileage is correct. All right, this one was crazy because I put a stepper motor in it, but the tachometer, there's something wrong with the board, and I don't know. I don't have a schematic. Nope, I don't know who has one, but tachometer doesn't work, so we bought a different cluster, and that cluster adjusts the mileage and the VIN, no problem. Then the buzzer was broke, so then I had to tear it apart, take the one buzzer off the old one, or test it, hit it with that, and then it was getting voltage. There was getting a signal to it, and it didn't work, but the old one did work, so I just transferred it, and now everything is good.